With us today we have Eurobattery Minerals and CEO Roberto García Martínez. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
I think we can start off by, for those who doesn't know, could you tell us a little more what you do at Eurobattery Minerals?
Yes, Eurobattery Minerals is a Swedish mining company. We are listed in NGM here in Sweden and also in Germany in the Stuttgart market. We have two great projects in the mining sector, in the battery mineral sector. We have cobalt, nickel, and copper, and a new project in Spain in the tungsten space. Both of them, I can say that are perfect for the battery sector and the aerospace and the defense industry, which is very neat at the moment for the European industry.
And if we look a little bit about what's going on at Eurobattery Minerals, the San Juan project is expected to generate positive cash flow in the second half of 2026. What are the key risks to this timeline and what assumptions drive your projections here?
That is correct. The project will be definitely generate cash flow next year, in the second part of the year. We will put a lot of emphasis into complying with the schedule timeline that we have calculate, and we have been working together with the expertise and with the experts that we have. So the idea is just to focus in the time schedule that we have. We have started already to work to clean the surface, to clean the area, and to start to do some earth moving work. And the expectation is to go, as I mentioned before, in the second quarter of next year in production. Obviously, we have risk. Mining is a dynamic industry. And I will say that the major risk that we could have is just based on the tungsten prices that are volatile in somehow, but obviously in the last months, the tungsten project, or the tungsten prices has been increased considerable. Only in this year, since January, more than 40% are increased. I can say that the tungsten metals are in the highest price ever have done, so ever have reached more than 500 euros per month. So just to minimize, or to put together, the risk that we have is that prices could be affected the time, or that the potential cash flow or generation of cash flow. And obviously we are in the hands of some outsourcing companies when it comes to the plant or the pilot plant. But we are very confident that we will achieve the time schedule that we have.
And I think if we look at commercial a little bit, you have agreements with Terrafame and the Sandvik Group. How do you see these developing into long-term off-take agreements or industrial investments?
That's right. We have two agreements, and we have an LOI with Wolfram und Hütten, a company in Austria, and that is one of the leader producer of tungsten concentrate. The company, the Austrian company, knows very well San Juan, or the project San Juan. They have been there, they have analyzed the material, they have bringing the material to Austria and to see that the material works with the processing plants that they have in Austria. So I can say that we have a buyer already for the material, and European buyer for the material. When it comes to Terrafame, it's correct, we have an agreement with them, a collaboration to explore how we could find solutions for the cobalt and nickel. So we have two big players with us, and obviously that shows that we are doing the things in the right way.
And with approved zoning in Finland and ongoing environmental permit process, how confident are you moving forward, and how do you mitigate those regulatory delays?
We are very confident that our project in Finland goes as it is. Obviously, there are delays that the company cannot control because they are outside of our control. But we have finalized the EPA last year, and this year, a few months ago, we have submitted a supplementary documentation that the Finnish authorities requested to us. So we are extremely happy that all the documentation is in the hands, or that are in the hands of the Finnish authorities. The Sunin plan is a big step forward to our projects, because that gives us the basis of the work, in the engineering work, to set up, to start to building the infrastructures. So it's a big step forward in the Finnish project, and we have continuing collaborations with the authorities, with the local authorities, with the community. We believe that it will be a game changer for Eurobattery Minerals, the project in Finland, definitely.
And if we look a little bit about on the financial side, you're currently carrying out the rights issue and you intend to raise approximately 78 million SEK. What will this money be used for?
Well, the cap raise has been calculated to develop the company until one point that we will generate cash flow in next year, in the second part of next year, in 2026. So the proceeds that we will raise in this cap raise will be more or less divided between San Juan and the Finnish project. So the 25%, approximately 25% of the proceeds will be used to finance the Tanstos project. Then we have around 50% to increase the capacity of the initial pilot plant, and another 10% or another 15% to do a new drilling campaign. Because at the moment we have a limited amount of material, reserves, and we want to do an extensive program to increase that capacity and to have a mining life longer than it is. So approximately half of that money goes to the San Juan project, and the other half of the money will be approximately another 25% goes to the Finnish project to complete the bankable feasibility study. Then that will be the last step to have this viable and to have an bankable situation for the Finnish project. And then we have the rest of the money, 10% goes for running costs, working capital costs, and if everything goes according to the plan and we have enough money, we would like to repay the convertible loan that we have at the moment open in our books.
And I think you have already answered the next question to some extent here, a bit with regard to the cash flow, because the next question is the money enough to achieve a positive cash flow, or are there any more further plans for capital raising? And if I read into your answer a little bit, if the Schramm project goes as planned, maybe there's some positive cash flow there, or?
Absolutely,
yeah.
Absolutely, you are totally correct. So we have calculated that with this cap raise, obviously, this is fully subscribed to 100%. We will be very happy it will be 200%, but if we have the 100% subscription, we can achieve all of these things. But basically, what we want to achieve is that the major part is to bring San Juan in production. Why it's important for us is because for us it's very important to not force or that don't stress the dilution of the current shareholders. For all of us that are in the company, it's important to not dilute them. So for that, it's important to achieve in the subscription as much money possible to don't do the next thing. But mining is dynamic and very pragmatic. Maybe we have new possibilities. Maybe we want to increase massively the production because the reserves are there, or we discover a big, and maybe we have to look for new possibilities, financial possibilities, not necessarily with a cap raise, but there are other financial instruments that we could take a look to financing bigger and larger possibilities future for the company.
And if we were to conclude this interview, why should investors take a closer look at Eurobattery Minerals as our next potential investment?
Investors should take a look closer at Eurobattery Minerals. Why? Is because we have something that Europe needs on its secure, responsible metals that the European industry needs. And in two great projects that differentiate us from the rest of the mining companies is timing and focus. Timing because, as I previously explained, San Juan will generate cash flow. We will in production next year. And Hautalampi in Finland has an extraordinary strong portfolio of nickel, cobalt, and copper. We have two off-takers with Boliden and with Terrafame. The buyers are there. We are fully compromised with ESG aligned, and we have the licenses. So for a mining company to have two projects that in short time, and when I say short time, is next year, we generate cash flow in Europe, for Europe, make us different.
Thanks so much for joining us here today and good luck going forward.
Thank you. Thank you to you for giving me the opportunity.